Welcome to the Word on Wednesday. One night, two frogs found themselves in a dairy. Hopping and jumping around as frogs do, they both jumped into a half-full pail of milk. After swimming around for some time, they tried to get out. But the inside of the pail was slippery, and there was nothing on which they could rest so that they could jump out. One frog thought that it was useless trying to swim and just gave up hope and sunk and drowned. The other carried on swimming, hoping against hope that something would turn up. He swam and swam until he began to feel tired. But by this time the milk, which was full of cream, had become thick. When the frog had swum some more, the cream had been stirred so much that it became a solid lump of butter. On this the frog could scramble and rest, and from it he could easily jump out of the pail into safety. The lesson learned is that we can flourish and develop in new ways when challenges arrive, or we can drown in despair. Howard Hendricks said, "Endurance is not just the ability to bear a hard thing, but to turn it to glory." There's a sense in which we find ourselves in a pail half full of milk. Could it be that we're about halfway through the pandemic and we're putting our eyes on the hardness of our situation rather than the Savior, and it's showing up in attitudes and actions that do not reflect the Savior we claim to follow? We need to remember the words of James in James 1:12. "Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him." Jesus is saying, keep your focus on me and the crown of life I have promised to those who love me. I personally think it's helpful to view your life as an endurance test. When you do this, you're not shocked or disappointed by the many trials you encounter. The crown of life that James talks about is similar to the wreath that was awarded for athletic victory in biblical times. However, those athletes competed to get a perishable crown, a wreath of greenery, and you are receiving a crown that will last forever. Whenever you're feeling battered by life's trials, remember the crown of righteousness that is stored up for you. The Savior has promised it to all of those who love him and long for his return. When Jesus, the chief shepherd, appears, you will receive a crown of glory that will never fade away. Will you endure? Will you keep on keeping on? Will you endure the hard thing until it is turned to glory?